the dust settles around the midterm election, pollsters and political analysts are looking at the numbers and breaking them down. Across the nation, a Republican wave turned congressional power completely over to the GOP. And in Idaho, Republicans had a sweeping victory. But there are more revelations inside the numbers. Jake Melder is live in studio with that breakdown.
There was never any doubt that Idaho Republicans were going to enjoy multiple victories last Tuesday, but a complete sweep of the statewide races is a bit surprising, especially considering this summer's infighting amongst leaders of the GOP. Still, one pollster says the green pastures of the Red Party are only getting greener.
Idaho is arguably the most Republican state in the union.
With 80% Republican majorities in both houses of the legislature, every statewide office held by Republicans, and all 4 federal representatives hailing from the GOP, calling Idaho a Republican stronghold is like calling ice cold. It's pretty obvious. The state's population has seen massive gains in the last 2 decades, and it seems these transplants also sympathize with the Big Tent party.
The fact is, Idaho, at least from a percentage support standpoint, is even more conservative than, say, it was 20, 30, 40 years ago.
There are pockets of Democratic support. All the representatives from Boise and Pocatello are Democrats. Dems even picked up a seat in the House from Lewiston.
Nez Perce County actually has a long history of more than the rest of the state of voting Democrat.
The big question for Tuesday's election was if Republicans who had been fighting all summer would unite to support their state candidates. With double-digit victories for Republicans in all but one of the races, and nearly the same amount of voter turnout as the last midterm election, the answer would seem to be yes.
Once it gets to the general, and now you're not, which Republican versus the other one, it's kind of like if you're going to vote, you have nowhere else to go.
Which means the chances of a Democrat winning statewide office.
It's not impossible, but it's certainly increasingly difficult.
Preliminary numbers suggest 37% of eligible voters turned out. Though that number may seem small, it's nearly double the national average. I interpret that to mean that Idahoans, more so than other state citizens, cherish their right to vote.